Welcome to the MyClayCo studio. My name is Carla and today I have a slightly different video for you because we have actually reshuffled our studio. So it's a little bit different and a little bit chaotic. So I actually have a lot of clay color scraps that I need to process. So I was actually just going to show you my process of how I go through and sort out my clay colors, and then we're going to roll out those colors and see what other colors that we come up with. I'm hoping for some really interesting color mixes today, and I'm wondering if you guys can guess what some of the colors are before I actually do the final reveals of them. So let's get processing. So just coming through our studio space now, I do know that I've got my kind of clay overflow and a couple of Ziploc bags of specialized color mixes in it. So like some stripes, and I think I've got some marbling and maybe even a leaf cane. Okay, so on my bench, I can see here, yes, I've got a little pile on a tile there. I did some color mixing the other day for color recipes, so I've got some of those scraps out. And as we move across here, I was also testing some things out. So that's a little bit of a mess over here, but I'll group them all together and then I'll just see what I've got. Okay, so I didn't even realize, but I actually just found this as well. Underneath my clay scraps and the scrap bags, there's also a box that's got some clay in it. So I got to add that to the pile too. Okay, so as you can see here, it's a huge mess at the moment. I've kind of got bits and bobs everywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to group like colors together. I might even have like this area here, I've got quite a lot of pink. So this I would process just as the one color. But yeah, I'm just going to group everything into like items, and then we can start picking out pieces from there on color mixing combinations. I did also just find that I almost have an entire block of ultramarine, which I use for color mixing darker colors. So I'm going to just cube that one up and put it in my color storage straight away. But everything else, we're going to get to color mixing. Okay, so I've sorted all of these ones out into kind of a rainbow, and you can see here down the side I've got kind of more random color mixes that don't quite fit into a specific color. So what I think I'm going to do is process all of these as colors, and I've got my black and white and like a mishmash gray pile here, and then I'm going to go through these with you to see what they're going to come out with. I think even some of these I may even mix, because like this one has a really cool chameleon powder within it. So it'll be interesting to see what that one comes up as if I was to mix it with, say, the lighter purple that has a little bit of that chameleon powder that's smudged off onto it. And then also like this one is like a blue, pink, white combo. So I might actually go and process this now and let's see what it comes out as. Okay, first color process, and it is this beautiful kind of icy pale blue. And I don't know if you can see it from there, but it does have slight glitter particles very sporadically through it. So this is going to be perfect for any kind of winter wonderland makes I make in the lead up to Christmas. But yeah, first one done, and it is very, very pretty. Okay, let's get on to the next one. Okay, so I'm finally done doing just all of the standard colors. So I'll just quickly show you those, because then I'm going to get onto the interesting ones, which I think I might have to do tomorrow because I'm running out of daylight. But I'll just quickly show you what I've done today. So as you can see, I have a really nice rainbow now. So what I would generally do with these ones is I would just squish them up with an acrylic clay press and then chop them into little logs and then store them away in their respective colors. I'm actually going to leave them out just with a little bit of plastic wrap over them overnight, just because tomorrow when I mix the random clay balls, I might need to color adjust with some of these clays just to make sure that I'm getting really nice colors rather than just a bunch of brown or gray mixes. And that's me done for the day. I will see you tomorrow. It is a new day. I still have those clay balls to process, so let's go over to the mystery ones and see what we get. Okay, first one to process is this kind of chameleon one, and I'm going to mix in that lighter purple to it, and I think it's going to come out really cool, like a deep chameleon purple. Okay, so as expected, it's a really nice dark, deep purple. And when I move it in the light, you can kind of see that color change come through. It's actually really cool. It's like got hints of like yellows and blues when the light hits it. All right. First one down, success. Beautiful. On to this random primary colored one. I actually think that this is going to turn out a not very nice color just because it has got reds, blues, and yellows in it. It can get a bit murky. So we're going to see what it comes out. Okay, so I kind of know that the color of this one isn't going to turn out heaps nice. So I'm actually going to leave it here and see if there's something that I can make that has this kind of like primary pop art kind of vibe to it. So I'm actually going to put it to the side just like this. I'll cover it with some plastic wrap so that I'm not going to get fluff on it. And then when I have a project that I think this will work well for, I'll just grab it out. Okay, onto this one. Again, this is another one that has tones of red, yellow, and blue in it. So I don't know how it's going to turn out, but we'll just see how we go. It kind of gets to a point where, you know, this is your time to decide whether you continue mixing or if you keep it as is. I kind of think that it's a little bit too murky to make something nice if I left it like this. And I think I just have to commit to the fact that it's going to turn out like a reddy grey. Okay, well, lucky for me, it had a few blues in there as well. So my reddy grey with that blue kind of made a nice smoky mauve purple. What I think I might do, because it is a little bit of a grey purple, I have this other stack of purples, which is like a turnip with some gold in it. And then a couple of purples that are very similar to this shade. I'm actually going to blend this one up and then I'm going to combine all of them to make hopefully a slightly nicer purple. Okay, the turnip did some heavy lifting in that one. As you can see now, it's actually a really beautiful purple. It's got a little bit of the gold shimmer, not too much in it, but it's gone from like a grey purple to a much like more vibrant purple because of that kind of red undertone that the turnip brought to it. So this is a good example of if you've got a color that you're not quite happy with, just try and mix a little bit of something else into it and you might get some other kind of stunning color. All right, I'm going to pop that one to the side. Onto this guy. So this one is a mix of blues, greens, yellows. So I think this is going to turn out a green color and it's got some gold leaf in it. So it is going to have a little bit of gold flecks through it, but I think it will actually be quite a nice green. I'm kind of assuming it's going to be a little bit like this, but maybe a deeper green. This is a little bit bright, but let's go. I actually really like the color mixes that I'm getting with it like this. I don't do too many of these marble types, but Tegan does. So I might try and flatten it, see if it's got some nice spots, but otherwise I think I might mix it all together. Okay, I actually really think I like this kind of oceanic vibe. I'm going to cut a square out of here and then I'm going to color mix the rest of them. This is still a little bit unconditioned over here, whereas this is actually quite nice. So I'm just going to cut off any excess scraps and then color mix those. but leave a little bit of this for me to work with. So now I've got this as a beautiful piece, and I have some leftover scraps. So I'm going to combine these with this other little similar color leftover scrap and see what we get. Okay, I love that color. It's kind of like a beautiful seafoam color. So at least I know that if I don't end up using this with anything, I at least know that if I color mix it, it can turn out similar to this. And I know it's a beautiful color. So I'm going to pop that one to the side and on to the next one. Okay, I have got this pink and red ball. I think it's going to be a deep red pink. So let's go. I've actually found some sneaky blues in here, so this might go a little bit of a purple type color. We'll have to see. So it has remained pink, but as you can see, it's got a slight cool undertone because of those minimal blues in there. But it's also got some like speckling in there. I must have had a part granite mix in there, which I think looks really nice. I think this would be really cute for some kind of pink strawberries because it has that speckling in it. But yeah, that's another one done. I have this one, which has a bunch of like a grey sage in it, along with some whites. But there could be mystery clay inside, I'm not sure. I'm going to ball this one up. I'm hoping that it goes a little bit green. If I need it to go more green, I do have this with the metallic leaf over to the side that I could try and add in. So let's see how we go. So it was looking a little bit sagey, but now it has gone very grey. But I can still see the potential for it to go a nice sage green. So I am actually going to mix in this green, and then I might need to just lighten it with some light yellow that I've mixed just to try and bring out the green tones because it is a bit bluey green. And so yeah, let me mix this in first and then see if we need to add any yellow. Now that is a beautiful sage green color. I definitely don't need to add any more yellow to it. There was enough in there. I was wondering if it was going to go a bit Spanish olive partway through, but it still had some lightening to do. But yeah, that's turned out beautiful. So that is another color done. I also have this one, which I think will also turn out green. It might be a slightly darker green than the one that I just processed. So I'm going to actually do that plus this mix of kind of blues, whites, and blacks. Yeah, process it all. I think it's going to turn out like a deeper green, but we're going to see how we go. Khaki or Spanish olive. That's the vibe that I'm getting from this. Well, as suspected, that is 100% Spanish olive. So it's a much warmer color than the sage green that I just mixed. As you can see, that's more gray blue undertones. This one has that orange that I showed you really shining through to make it that beautiful Spanish olive vibe. I do love this color, so I'm very happy with both of these greens because I use them quite often. Okay, and the last ones I've got are these kind of pink, purple, gold, marbly looks. I think I'm actually going to dice them up, squish them together, almost like a squish log, and then just process them and see where I want to stop, whether I want to mix the whole way or if I want to leave it a little bit more marbled. There is some swirling going on, but it's also not very conditioned because it's been sitting out for a bit. So I might have to actually process this one a little bit more. So unfortunately, I did have some flaking, so I did have to fully color mix it because it wouldn't have really been usable with how it was flaking. It is very similar to the pink that I made. It's just got a slightly deeper purple undertone. I think I'm just going to combine these two though, so that I make like one big pinky purple color. Okay, so now I've gone back to that kind of strawberry pink color, and that's all done. I am revisiting this one. I don't know if I would actually use it for anything. I'm in two minds whether I actually process it or not. So what I think I might do is, because the back's not heaps pretty, I do like this little patch here. So what I might do is actually keep some of this. I'm going to process this up and I'm going to see what color it turns into. So it's come out this kind of reddy brown color. I think I will leave the rest of it for a project because I don't really think I need any more browns, especially this kind of tone. So I'm going to leave the rest of this and see if I can maybe even cut out a rainbow parrot bookmark or something from it. Or do, like an art pop style pair of earrings. But that's a good tip for if you are unsure whether you should fully color mix. Just rip off a part that looks a little bit, I guess, uglier than the rest of it that you might not necessarily cut anything out of, and just color mix it and see what it comes out at. And if you really like it, fully color mix the whole slab. But if you don't, like this one, I'm not sold on it. So I'll keep the rest of that slab and try and work it into something. So here I have all of the colors that I processed both yesterday and today. I do have a really wide variety of colors. Even my greens, I think, are very different. Like these are my two more sage greens from yesterday. This is the more sage, more Spanish olive. And you can see that even those of this is much darker. And same as this, much darker. So I could mix them all together, but I think I might keep them separate in case I need leaf variants in a couple of pieces. I do have this brown and it is a little bit similar to this brown. So I think I am just going to mix these two up. As for the rest of these, I'm just going to cube them up and then pop them into the storage. And that is all of our clay scraps from the last 4 months processed. I finished. So I've cubed everything up. I have my ones that I'm going to use for projects later on over to the side on another tile. Now I just have to put these into our containers. So if you've seen any of our organization or storage type videos before, you will have seen these kinds of containers that we have. We just get them from our local hardware store Bunnings, but you could probably also get them from craft stores or anything like that. And they've just got these dividers. So obviously we are a larger studio. We do have 2 of us working with clay almost every single day. So you might not need to get storage as big as this, but it's really easy to store it this way and cube it up. So we just move our colors over into our respective containers, and we do that for all the other colors. Thank you so much for joining me in the studio today. I hope that you enjoyed all of our wonderful color mixing. Let me know in the comments below which one of my color mixes was your favorite, or if you had any suggestions on what I should have done in some of them. I'm wondering if a few of them I should have stopped partway through, or if I did the right thing in continuing with the color mix process. Always love your feedback, so drop a comment down below and let us know. And of course, if you did like the video, we would love for you to like and subscribe because it lets us bring you more wonderful tutorials or just behind the scenes sneak peeks in the studio. And we will see you next time for another fun video. Bye.